Rum, it's more than just a drink. For centuries, this golden or dark liquid has been a symbol of rebellion, survival, and celebration. It has carried stories across oceans, the triumphs of explorers, the brutality of the slave trade, the camaraderie of sailors, and the personal battles of those who tried to drown their pain in its sweetness. Behind every sip lies a complicated history and a complicated relationship with alcohol itself, one that has changed nations, shaped economies, and altered countless lives. Understanding rum isn't just about understanding a beverage. It's about understanding how power, culture, chemistry, and human vulnerability intertwine. So where did it all begin? Surprisingly, not with the drink, but with a plant, sugarcane. Sugarcane was first cultivated in New Guinea thousands of years ago. It traveled slowly westward to India, Persia, and the Arab world, eventually landing in the Mediterranean. People discovered that the sticky residue left over from sugar processing molasses could ferment naturally. Early forms of sugarcane-based alcohol existed, but they were crude, local, and far from the rum we know today. Rum, as we understand it, emerged in the 17th century Caribbean. When European colonists established vast sugar plantations, massive quantities of molasses piled up as a waste product. Someone history never named them discovered that molasses mixed with water and left to ferment produced alcohol. Distillation made it stronger, and just like that, rum was born. But its rise was tied to one of the most tragic chapters of human history, the transatlantic slave trade. Rum became a key part of the infamous trade triangle. Caribbean plantations run by enslaved Africans produced sugar and molasses. That molasses was shipped to New England, where it was distilled into rum. That rum was then shipped to West Africa, where it was traded for more enslaved people. Rum was currency, it was power. It was exploitation. Its history is inseparable from that brutal reality. From these dark origins, rum's influence spread, shaping empires and daily life across the world. For over 300 years, sailors in the British Royal Navy received a daily rum ration. Known as the tot, it was part morale booster, part necessity, especially before reliable drinking water at sea. The tradition only ended in 1970, on a day sailors still call Black Tot Day. Rum also fueled revolutions. In America, it was the colonists' drink of choice and a key economic driver before independence. In Australia, the 1808 Rum Rebellion, the only successful military coup in the country's history, was sparked by disputes over the rum trade. In the Caribbean, rum evolved into an expression of cultural identity, craftsmanship, and celebration. It became both a symbol and a story. So, how is this historic spirit actually made? The process is both simple and intricate. It all starts with the raw materials, usually molasses, that thick, dark syrup left from sugar extraction. Some rums, like agricole rum from Martinique, use fresh sugarcane juice instead, creating a different flavor profile. Next comes fermentation. Yeast is added to the sugary liquid, and it gets to work converting those sugars into alcohol. Fast fermentations produce lighter, cleaner rums, while slow fermentations, famous in places like Jamaica, create heavier, funkier, and more aromatic spirits. After fermentation, the liquid is distilled. This process concentrates the alcohol and flavors. Pot stills and older technology produce heavier, more flavorful rum. Modern column stills produce a lighter, more neutral spirit. Many runs are then aged in oak barrels, often ones that previously held bourbon. Aging is where the magic happens, developing complex notes of vanilla, caramel, spice, and even smokiness. The climate makes a huge difference. Tropical aging happens much faster, creating deep flavor in just a few years compared to spirits aged in cooler regions. Finally, master blenders work their art, combining rums of different ages and profiles to achieve a consistent signature style before it's bottled and sent out into the world. But let's be clear, rum contains ethanol, the same psychoactive compound found in all alcoholic beverages. So the health effects of rum aren't unique to rum, they are the effects of alcohol. And the science is settled. Long-term, heavy, or consistent drinking is linked to numerous serious physical and mental health risks. Let's look at the facts. First, the physical effects. Chronic alcohol use can lead to severe liver damage, including fatty liver disease, alcoholic hepatitis, and cirrhosis. The liver struggles to process excess ethanol, causing inflammation and scarring. Long-term heavy drinking is also linked to cardiovascular problems like high blood pressure, irregular heartbeat, and an increased risk of stroke. Any claims about alcohol being heart healthy have been largely debunked by modern research. Alcohol also weakens the immune system, making you more vulnerable to infections. And critically, it's a known carcinogen. Major health organizations classify alcohol as a Group 1 carcinogen, associated with a higher risk of cancers of the liver, breast, esophagus, mouth, and throat. It also damages the digestive system from the stomach lining to the pancreas and disrupts your sleep, preventing the restorative REM sleep your body and brain need. The mental health impacts are just as significant. Alcohol directly affects your brain's chemistry, messing with neurotransmitters that regulate your mood. Over time, this can worsen anxiety, depression, and emotional instability. Heavy, long-term drinking is also linked to cognitive decline, causing memory problems, difficulty concentrating, and a higher risk of dementia. And of course, there's the risk of addiction. Alcohol can create a powerful physical and psychological dependence as it rewires the brain's reward pathways. This leads to a cycle where more and more is needed to get the same effect, a cycle that can be incredibly difficult to break without support. And beyond brain chemistry, long-term misuse can damage relationships, careers, and finances, eroding your self-esteem and resilience. But here is the most important part of this story. Recovery is possible. Millions of people worldwide have reclaimed their lives from alcohol misuse. The journey often begins with a single, honest moment, a realization that alcohol is controlling more of your life than you want it to. This doesn't require hitting rock bottom. It just requires clarity. The next step is seeking support, whether from a friend, a doctor, a therapist, or a support group. Everyone's path is different. What matters is taking that first step, however small. And when you do, the body and brain can begin to heal. With sustained abstinence, sleep becomes more restful, energy increases, mood stabilizes, and cognition gets sharper. Liver function often improves, and anxiety levels can decrease. Recovery isn't instant, but the human body is incredibly resilient. People in recovery often describe a renewed sense of identity, confidence, and purpose. The absence of alcohol isn't emptiness, it's creating room for something better. If you're thinking about reducing or quitting, there are practical steps you can take. Start by tracking your drinking just to build awareness. Set clear, realistic goals for yourself. Find alternatives you actually enjoy, like mocktails or sparkling teas, to replace the ritual. And build a supportive environment by sharing your goals with someone you trust. It's also vital to learn healthier ways to cope with stress, anxiety, or loneliness, things like exercise, mindfulness, or a new hobby. And remember, asking for professional help is a sign of strength, not weakness. A doctor can provide safe, effective strategies, especially if you have a physical dependence. The history of rum is a story of humanity, of nations rising and falling, of celebration and pain, of oppression and resilience. Its sweetness hides a complicated legacy. Today, it remains a drink that can unite friends or unravel lives. Understanding its past gives us perspective, but understanding ourselves gives us power. If you're exploring your own relationship with alcohol, you're already on a path of discovery. Your story doesn't have to be defined by any substance. You hold the pen. The next chapter is yours to write. Thanks for watching. If you or someone you know is struggling, please know there is hope and help available. And if you found this video is helpful, please subscribe, like, and comment for more recovery journey content. Take care, and we'll see you next time. This video is for educational purposes only and is not intended to provide medical advice or encourage alcohol consumption. Always consult a qualified healthcare professional for guidance related to alcohol use, health concerns, or treatment options.